Seems like homes that are being that are priced like accurately, I would say, are moving quite quickly in the market today. And listings that are overpriced, I think, are sitting on the market a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's true. Uh, it always like that. The market is like the people, the seller who want to fish for a to sell it at a higher price, won't sell it. Is all about right price, and right price is what in open market what buyers pays for the
Right,
property. So right now that's what it is. A good house, good looking house sells faster. The
right,
house that need work, it's not selling
right,
because inventory is not that much either. But uh, eventually, the seller who's selling, they have to buy another house.
right.
So, so that's why there's not a lot of homes selling because the sellers themselves don't know if they sell it where they're gonna move next.
Right.
So the seller who are
Unless you're in a
financial crunch,
situation where you've booked a pre-construction home and you're moving up.
yep, that's another one. Like the people who booked it, they are moving, or people who cannot afford their house, the
Right,
big
they're
house,
selling.
they're
Yeah.
selling and moving to a smaller house.
Right, downsizing.
So downsizing it. So those are the sellers out there,
Hmm.
and it's very important that who you work with knows these things. Like how can they spot the giveaway signs from the seller, and you can negotiate a better deal
Right,
based on the conversation we have with the seller's agent and sellers themselves.
right.
So that's how we'll know.
Okay, well, let's start.
Okay, so let's start. So first of all, I want to welcome everyone to the webinar that we are scheduled. Um, and the topic was how to buy a house in 2024 and save yourself lots of money in the process. And the first time home buyer seminar, this is our first for 2024, and a lot more coming. And me and Jimmy are the team together. I'm a real estate broker from last 25 years, and Jimmy is also veteran in mortgage business, and he's in a business for quite a long time. Jimmy,
20,
when you are in the business since?
23 years. This is my
23
23rd
years,
year. Yeah, my 23rd year.
23rd year.
Yeah,
Nice. Mine is 26th year, so not too far apart.
yeah.
So we have seen a lot of up and down.
Oh,
So
we've seen it all. There isn't
we are
anything I think we haven't seen.
so so this market is not a new for us. So we've been there, done that. So we know how to act and behave in each market. And prominently we are have seen this a lot of time, and how to find a good deal, how to get the mortgages, how to close the deal. That's the whole our strength is. Anybody can show you home and put an offer. The art and craft is how to close the deal. That's the main emphasis is on closing the deal on timely mode with less stress, and everything is so transparent that there's no situation that we haven't seen. So we are very much aware of all situation that could arise from the transaction, and we usually take care of that right up front before even it show up. So the smoothness of the deal is a forte that me and Jimmy offers to our client, is the smoothness that you won't even feel that there's any big things or big surprises coming out and haunting you. So
Yeah,
everything
and
taken care
that's
of.
the whole part of this first time home buyer seminar that we're putting together for the first time for everybody to see for 2024. And basically providing everybody with a detailed guide as to what the process says in purchasing their first home, or even purchasing their second home. But I'm sure a lot of individuals see and read a lot of things, or a lot of information on first time home buying, but it really is dependent on the team that you work with. And
So
you and
it's,
I have been working together for so many years, helping a lot of first-time home buyers find their dream homes and help them finance those dream homes. And that's what we're here to share that information with everybody and sort of cut out the red tape and help everyone understand how that process is done. And like you said, it has to be a smooth, seamless transaction for our
yeah,
clients.
so I won't be wrong if I'm saying like this webinar is all about inside secret and all the all the hacks and tips and tricks of real estate and mortgage and how you can position yourself first of all to get maximum approval from the bank and get yes from the mortgage for the your mortgage approval. And once we know how much mortgage you are approved for, maximum amount, and then your down payment on top of it, we add together, that becomes your total budget. And then we need to find what type and style of home will fit and where those home exist. So that's the whole game is about how to get the best home within your budget and get all the mortgage approvals so that closing happen on time. So that's the whole secret ingredient in the pot that we are even talking about today, to how to start, what's the first step. So that's what is all about. So let's start uh, our webinar. So as we all already welcome you, so first thing first, Jamie, tell us about your budget, your calculation, monthly income, your monthly debt expense, factoring out down payment savings. Tell us about this thing.
Yeah, so it's very important for any first-time home buyer to determine what their monthly budget is in terms of any home that they want to purchase. So our team looks at to calculate, help clients calculate, what their monthly income is, what debts they have, what expenses they have, what kind of money they have saved up, or if any of the down payment that they're going to be putting down on a home is going to be gifted or coming from an RSP or the home buyer's plan or from savings or investments. So we gather all of this information for our potential clients and our first-time home buyers to help them determine what makes the most sense based on their wants and needs. And where we differentiate, our team, yourself and myself, is we provide them with accurate information. We help them calculate their GDS and TDS. And so what is GDS and TDS, for example? And these are the ratios that we use to qualify our home purchasers, home borrowers for the first time or second time if they're moving up. And so GDS is growth debt service ratio. So we look at the actual mortgage payment plus your property tax payment plus the heat on that home that you're going to be purchasing divided by your monthly or yearly income. And that ratio has to be below 39%, depending on your credit rating. Now, if you're a first-time home buyer and you are putting less than 20% down, then that 39% is pretty solid. Like it has to be below that based on, the CMHC or Canada Guarantee or SAGEN guidelines for putting less than 20% down. Then we look at your total debt service ratio, which has to be below 44%, which we call TDS. And that is, again, taking your monthly mortgage payment, your monthly property tax payments, your monthly heating payments, or if you're buying a condo, which I forgot to mention, your 50% of your condo fees divided by your monthly income, which has to be below, like I said, 44%. But if you're a first-time home buyer and you're putting 20% down or more, then we have a lot of discretion with our ratios. And with most lenders, we can go up to 48%, which gives us a lot more leeway. And one of the keys that our team provides is that we don't just give you any pre-approval. And a lot of home buyers forget that when you're determining your budget and you're trying to understand what is it that you can afford, a lot of people can afford a lot more than if they were to go to their bank and just give them all the basic information. We actually cut out the red tape and really, really determine what your monthly budget is. Because at the end of the day, we don't want you to be house poor, right, Arby? We want clients to be able to get into a home, enjoy their home, be able to afford their mortgage payments, and still at the same time save money as well. And put some money for a rainy day or, and we'll talk about this on another day, but, help them save more money where maybe they can tomorrow, 2-3 years down the road, purchase their first investment home. And so these are the kind of things that we bring to the table, and we help our clients understand and guide them and educate them and show them how these things are done.
Okay, so the people that we are talking about is Jimmy is people who are planning to buy next year, and there are people who want to buy this year. And what you see now in the market, like what's happening about the, like right now we hit the price of the homes at rock bottom right now, based on
Yeah,
the
last
interest
three
rate and stuff.
years, last 3 years has been an interesting market, and I've talked about it many times where 3 years ago interest rates were a lot lower, but there was less supply available in the market in terms of homes for sale. And people were getting outbid or outpriced on homes, especially first-time home buyers who had a lot of difficulties in determining what their budgets were, because anytime a home buyer would determine their budget, you'd go out and show them a home that was listed for $1 million 3 years ago, but then it ended up selling for 1.2 million, and so they were outpriced on that home. And then once interest rates started going up, and the whole market segment changed. People stopped selling their homes. Inventory went down even more, and the market got even worse. Because now it became that much harder for people to budget themselves, because it was the cost of carrying a mortgage, and the cost of inflation was a lot higher. And so a lot of first-time home buyers, went to the sidelines and said, "Hey, this is not the right time for me to buy right now, because I can't get the home I want. Prices are still too high. Interest rates are going up. So I don't qualify for the mortgage or the home that I need." Now, everything's changed. Now we've done a complete 180, complete full circle, where now we're seeing a lot more inventory on the market, a lot more supply in the market. Interest rates are starting to come down, especially fixed rate mortgages have definitely come down almost, I would say, 1% over the last couple of months. And so we're encouraging a lot of first-time home buyers to say, "Hey, listen, right now we flattened out the market. Home prices have come down substantially. I would say from a year ago, home prices have come down almost 22% in certain pockets, and that's a big number. And now we've flatlined, and now is the time for first-time home buyers to get into the market, in my opinion. And you can elaborate more on that. But this is where we're seeing more inventory in the market. Interest rates are a lot lower. We're going to see interest rates go down even further. First-time home buyers' purchasing power is a lot greater. And today, if you get into a home that's 20%, 15 to 20%, let's say, depending on the area you're looking, lower today than it was a year ago, that same home price, as soon as the Bank of Canada starts decreasing rates come springtime, is going to pep up the market. And you're going to start seeing a lot more transactions happening. And then, well, if interest rates start coming down as dramatically, as quickly as I think they're going to over the next 12 to 18 months, then you're going to see a lot more demand build up again. And that same home that you could purchase today is probably going to sell, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 more 6 to 12 months from now. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. And the first time home buyers need to understand that 10% down payment, there's a limit of price of $1 million. Anything over $1 million, you have to put 20% down. So
Correct.
that alone option was not available from last 2 to 3 years to the first time home buyer.
That's right. That's
to
right.
buy anything with 10% down.
Mhm.
Anybody used to come for 10% down. There's nothing available in Ontario, all across. Everything was more than $1 million. Now
Well,
what we see is a lot of homes are available in GTA less than $1 million, which
well,
the
keep in
first
mind,
time I
Army, you
see
can
there's
remember, keep in mind,
opportunity.
you can still purchase a home with 5% down up to 500,000, right? And then you could still put 10% of the difference over 500,000. So that option is still there for clients to put that minimum down payment, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're absolutely correct in what you're saying. That up to $1 million price point wasn't available over the last few years.
No, it's the first time now. I see a lot of homes in GTA available less than 1 million. And now is the time that the first time buyers actually can buy anything in the GTA. Before, everybody in last 2, 3 years, everybody was sitting on the edge that nothing was available less than 1 million. They couldn't buy with 10% down. They need 20% down. And now the 10% buyers market is opening up. Now, if you are into that segment of 10% down, now's the time to come out and get the pre-approval and find a houses because there's the houses are available. But what Jimmy is saying, like interest rate, if the interest rate go down, the demand, then the prices go up. That's what we have seen a lot of time in the past. That if interest rate keep coming down, the price is gonna go up. And
Yeah,
then
because
all of a sudden,
let's not kid ourselves, because we're, like you said before, we still have a housing crisis and we still have a supply shortage in the GTA and in Ontario for that matter. But over the last couple of years, we've seen an improvement this month and last month of more homes coming up for sale. So it's not the greatest, but it's better. And you're bang on when you say, if first-time home buyers that are determined and looking to get into the market today, this is the sweet spot. This month, next month is the sweet spot before that spring market, because you and I both have discussed this on numerous occasions. We firmly believe that as soon as Bank of Canada starts making those interest rate cuts, that spring market will turn around. And all those homes that are for sale today in this supply market that we have, which is a buyer's market, like you're saying, those homes are going to get scooped up right away. I think we're not going to see
and I
that
think
much
the
inventory.
10% buyer market is gonna disappear soon.
It's going to disappear.
Yeah, so that's why I just emphasizing to all those buyers who are thinking to buy a house with 10% down, do not wait. Because we don't know for how long this market gonna sustain where you can find a home in GTA less than 1 million. Now there's a lot of homes options available, but that option is gonna be disappearing as the moment Bank of Canada start decreasing the interest rate and the spring market comes in, and then all of a sudden all those homes are gone and then the seller sees there's a demand and all of a sudden the prices are pushed up again more than the moment it crossed the million, 10% is out of question. Now
Yeah.
you are into 20% market down payment market.
And that's why we're telling our first-time home buyers, it's important to determine your budget right now, because now you can, based on where the market sits, where the price points sit of certain homes for sale that are within their grasps. And this is where it's very important to work with our team to help us, for us to help our clients determine their budget so that they can move quickly, act quickly, and not wait much longer on the sidelines and then get priced out of the market again. And then that's why we're here today to help our potential clients and understand the process and understand what it is that they need to do in order to move forward.
Okay, let's move forward. Getting a pre-approval. So that's your forte. So explain about
so
what's the process.
So one thing that everybody, before I get into the process, one thing everybody fails to understand is that when you go to get a pre-approval from a bank, let's say, a bank is only going to take very limited information that you have to that you as a client provide to them. So they'll just understand, okay, this is where I work, this is how much I make, this is my base salary. If you're a salaried employee or if you're self-employed, this is what I average over the last 2 years of income and my personal notice of assessments, my income taxes. This is the business I have. And and they ask you simple question, okay, what is your total down payment? And they ask you very generic information. And this is what I want a lot of our first-time home buyers to understand, that sometimes working with a bank or a banker isn't the best option for you, because you're only working with that one particular bank or one particular individual working at that bank. So in a pre-approval process, we don't like to call it pre-approval. We like to call it pre-qualification. And the reason why I say that is because our team, you and I, we basically cut out all the red tape and we understand from start to finish exactly what kind of income the client has, what income they've averaged if they've been on that same job for the last 2 years, if they're salaried employees, what kind of bonuses they have, what kind of down payment do they have saved up, where's the down payment coming from. We actually go above and beyond that pre-approval process that a bank does. We actually pre-qualify clients. We go through all of what it takes to get actually approved for a mortgage so that the client at the end of the day has enough of an idea from an exact standpoint what their maximum purchasing power can be. And then based on their budget, we can help them determine what their affordability can be. So, it's very important to fill out a mortgage application, provide us with all of the income documentation, whether or not you're a salaried employee or a self-employed individual. And with working with a mortgage brokerage like ourselves and working with you as a real estate agent on our team, that the benefit is we work with over 30 lenders. So we go and help shop the best rates, the best products based on the client's needs and wants. And then based on your expertise and my expertise in understanding where the market space is, understanding the economics of the economy, understanding where rates are heading, what's happening, we can then help determine our clients what's best suited for them. And that's sort of the difference between them going to a bank to get a pre-approval or coming to us and getting actually pre-qualified for a mortgage.
Yep, that's true. And each bank is different. They have their different rules and regulations. For example, if you're dealing with the top 6 standard banks, they have different rules. With the credit unions, they have different rules, and all of them have different. So depending on if the guy is self-employed, which bank is the best suited for that person, and maybe the major six banks won't even touch the self-employed guys at the level that for the approval, where the credit union can be looking at the income differently. Can you explain a little bit on that part?
Yeah, so for example, some banks will only look at what if you're a self-employed individual, let's say if your own business or if you're a professional, they'll only look at your last 2 years worth of tax returns, your notice of assessments, and take the average income over the last 2 years. But we work with different lenders and our lender partners like credit unions and other financial institutions where we can look at your financial statements, where we can add back some of that net income from your financial statements of income that you show on the business. Or we have specific programs for certain individuals, like professionals, like where if you're a doctor and you're just in your last year of residency, we can take a certain amount of income for you and determine that you're making $250,000 or $300,000 a year. And so obviously we have a vast array of different mortgage products for self-employed individuals where, we think outside the box for our clients. And that's...
So Jimmy, talk about IT professionals and truck drivers and taxi drivers, all these self-employed segment, because that's a big segment we have.
Yeah, if you're incorporated, like I said, if you're incorporated, you've been incorporated for 2 years or more, and we don't only look at your average income on your income tax returns, right? And like I said, we can determine additional income from your business financial statements and see how much net income and surplus you have, and do add backs like amortization expenses, other types of expenses, and then gross your income up. So, and some banks don't allow you to do that, but with the lenders that we work with, they allow us to do that for our clients and help them determine, what their purchasing power would be. So that's the advantage of working with our team versus going to a bank directly, themselves.
So as I said, sometimes your own bank won't approve you for the amount that you are looking for. If you're coming to Jimmy and Jimmy's team, they go and shop around and find out a lender who's willing to calculate the maximum income of your income and give you a higher purchasing power. So that's the reason the pre-approval is important, because once you know what your budget is, so knowing what your budget is most important initial stage. The first step is to know what your maximum budget is, and for that, pre-approval is must have. And not only that, once you have a pre-approval, you go with a strong foot in front of the seller. And what happens is then we can negotiate with on the position of strength, and we can say, hey, listen, we have a pre-approval. So you say yes to me, your house is sold because we have a pre-approval. So when we negotiate on the position of strength with the with approval to show to the seller, we get negotiate a better deal for you. So
Yeah,
these are the things that
and
we
remember, RV, remember at the end of the day, our approval or pre-approval, like you're calling it, isn't really a pre-approval. It's actually a pre-qualification. That's what I like to say. It's better because it's like having a real approval because we're already cutting out all the red tape and we have all of the client's information up front, and we go into so much detail of our client's mortgage application, and we help determine everything from start to finish what their maximum purchasing power is. So we know at the end of the day when we give you and your team the green light to help our potential first time home buyers go and make that offer, that they're going into making that offer on their first home hassle free, worry free, and that's the most important thing at the end of the day.
Yes, Jimmy. So once we know what your maximum budget is, then we need to find out what maximum type and style of home will fit in there and where those homes exist. And then we show you all the options available within that budget. And then you pick the location and then style and type of the homes we have available. And once you say yes to the home, we negotiate at the best possible deal for you and bring that agreement purchase sale to Jimmy's team. And now Jimmy is instead going to get a full approval on the property because banks already approved you as a client. Now they have to approve a mortgage on the property, and now the property information gone to Jimmy, and now that's when Jimmy is gonna get you approval. So all the offers that we put goes to Jimmy, and Jimmy start working on that. Jimmy, explain that position now.
Yeah, so like I said, once we go through the pre-qualification process and cut out all the red tape and we know exactly what our client's purchasing power is, then that's where you and your team specialize. And this is where you guys are amazing. Once you sit down and define the must-haves with your clients in terms of like what location they want, what kind of home they're looking for, how many bedrooms, what kind of features, with a finished basement, not finished basement, rental potential, things like that. This is where you guys shine and you find that needle in a haystack of a home for your clients and find them what they're looking for to help their dreams of home ownership come true. And once that process is completed and we have an agreement of purchase and sale tied up, depending on if it's a firm sale or if there's condition of financing, condition of home inspection, then yes, you turn that agreement of purchase and sale to us, and then we go and get help our clients obtain that final mortgage approval based on whatever the market is at that time in terms of what the best rates are, the best mortgage products. And again, this all goes back to what our clients must-haves are, what our clients' needs are. Just like you go out and determine, our clients' must-haves in terms of the type of home they want, we help them determine what their needs and wants are in terms of a mortgage product, whether they go fixed, whether they go variable, or they go some sort of hybrid style mortgage, or do they want a line of credit with that mortgage if they're putting 20% down or more, or what their future endeavors are with that home ownership. So that's where we shine on our end and help our clients determine that.
So let me explain about the home buying process in detail. I just take you about a brief thing now. Let me explain you how this thing comes. Once Jimmy tell me what your max budget is, we'll sit down with you on the sold data first of last 15 days, and we explain and show you everything being sold in last 15 days. Okay, based on that, you will know pretty good idea which area, what style of homes you can get based on the sold data. And then I will show you everything available for sale. And then the list price is totally different than what the sold price is. So once we already know the sold prices, now we see what's available. Now we know, get a pretty good idea of what you can buy in that area. So once you decide which location you want to live in, and then my job starts of finding you all the options available and give you all those options, and then you pick the best house out of them, and then we negotiate a best deal out of it. And everything is transparent, everything happens, you are very much involved in each and every step, and then you find your dream home and we negotiate the best deal with your involvement 100% in there. So once we have that, then it goes to Jimmy for a mortgage approval. And in that process, we always um, get you a home inspection done, because that's the must have. Because if you're buying anything older than 7 years or even 5 years, in 3 years, a home inspection, it's must. So we always get a home inspection done, even if there is a chance of us not getting a condition of home inspection in there. We get a inspection done before we put an offer. So in that way, we already know what we are buying, what type of home we are buying. So that's something we always do that for you for the home inspection. We don't compromise on that. Um, Finance part is we come with on a position of strength, because Jimmy already gave us a pre-qualification on you to the bank, and now the only bank have to see the property, and then we make sure the property have no issues. So in the home inspection, we know figure it out everything that there's no issues with that. And then once we put together the deal, it goes to Jimmy and Jimmy's team, and then they figure it out and take to the bank and get your a firm approval from the bank. So that's the whole process. It's maybe overwhelming for you, but we are doing this from last 25 years, and we sold thousands and thousands of homes to a lot of families. And this is walking no park for me, because we have done so many times. So again, my job is to hold your hand to each and every step and take you to the finish line. That's my job, is to make everything work so smoothly and so simple and easy for you. So that's where we come in a picture. And we have done this so many times. So that's what it is. So let's move forward to the next slide. Is well, that's what we come and guide you: the home search, negotiate purchase price, and manage paperwork. So that's the whole step of everything that we do. Tour the homes, take notes on the property. You can ask us any questions that you want, and then we make an offer, negotiate, and we complete the inspections. These are the steps we take. And securing the financing is the Jimmy, once you get an offer, what you do?
Well, like I said before, then we go and shop the rates, right? Even though we've already held a rate for the clients in the pre-qualification process.
So what do you mean by holding the rate?
Well, see, what happens is, and this is where everybody gets really confused. So it's really interesting what the banks do these days. So let's say, RV, you're looking for your first home. You're a first-time home buyer, okay? And you come to us and you say, okay, Jimmy, I want to get pre-qualified. I need somebody to hold a rate for me. And I say, okay, sure. So most banks will hold a rate up to 120 days. And what that means is they'll pre-approve you through the banking process. Let's say you went through a bank, and they'll pre-approve you and hold a rate of, let's say, 5% for 120 days, and say, okay, go, you can buy a home today for 750,000, and your rate of interest we're holding is at 5% a year on a 5-year fixed rate mortgage over a 25-year amortization. But and then again, that's based on very strict guidelines of a GDS, like I talked earlier, of 3944. Okay.
Okay.
But you come to us when we finalize your pre-approval or pre-qualification, like I like to say, is that we can do the same. We'll hold your rate for 120 days. But the difference in today's market is banks have different rates for a pre-approval, a pre-qualification, and a live deal. And we've come to this term now where we tell our clients, look, right now you're in an advantage where interest rates are changing quite frequently. Every week, fixed rates have been dropping 10, 15, 20 basis points here and there. And we'll go ahead and give you a pre-qualification, and we'll lock in your interest rate for the next 120 days. But our job doesn't stop there, Harvey. Once the agreement of purchase and sale is finalized, and you come back to us with our clients, with our mutual clients, to help them determine the final financing, then we go and get them an even better rate than what we've already pre-qualified them for. Okay, because now that deal changes from pre-qualification to live deal. And banks love live deals because that's where they know that the clients have already purchased a home. And so there's better rates and better options for clients on live deals. And our job doesn't end then. We still keep shopping on that live deal, on that agreement of purchase and sale for our clients to get even better rates, because every week a different bank is going to come out with a different special or a cashback offer with that mortgage, or some sort of discounting here or there. And that's the beauty of working with our team, like yourself and myself, is that we never ever stop working for our clients. We keep working for our clients and keep trying to help them determine what the best interest rate is for them based on their wants and needs, and based on market conditions too, right? Because you and I love, like, not only love, we're not only passionate about it, but it's our job. We follow the economy every day. We follow the market every day. We determine and see what's happening with the overall real estate market and the overall economic market in Canada and where interest rates are heading. And so, we have to be on par every single day with all of this economic data in order to help our clients determine what's the best, real estate home to buy, which area to buy, what price point to buy at, what best financing to get them at, what rates to, suggest to them, where things are heading, what's happening in the market. So that's the whole process of helping our clients secure the best financing once you've helped them find their dream home.
So 2 weeks before the closing, we keep shopping around and finalize the deal.
1 week before, we're always shopping. We're always shopping for our clients in terms of the best rate that's available in the market. We don't give up.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of working with Jimmy, is that he keeps shopping till the 1 week before the closing to find a better, cheaper interest rate for you. But if you work with another bank, that's it. you approved. That's the rate, because you signed it. Not with Jimmy. Jimmy keeps shopping.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, RV, we're not here to sell a client a credit card or a bank account or a line of credit or a loan or anything like that. That's not our incentive. We work for our clients, right?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, our best interest is for our clients, our potential home buyers, our potential first-time home buyers, because we work for them. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, who the mortgage is with. Sure, it matters in terms of the overall contract of the mortgage. I'll give you an example. A lot of my clients over the years have said, "Oh, Jimmy, why did you put our mortgage with this Schedule II bank?" And I said, "Well, because they have the best terms and conditions." It's very important to understand what's in the contract of the mortgage approval or the mortgage commitment. What kind of prepayments can you make on a mortgage? Are you able to refinance your mortgage? Is there a penalty to break this mortgage? Are you able to sell this house and purchase a new home? Are you able to port this mortgage? All of those things are very, very important when you're obtaining financing for any home. Because sometimes if an interest rate sounds too good to be true, that means there are other parameters set with that mortgage, where you can't sell that house for the first 3 years, you can't refinance, you can't port, you can't make prepayments. Those mortgages we call no-frills mortgages, and those are something that people should be stay away from or be aware of, because those are not good products for any homeowner, any borrower for that matter, in today's market, because you want flexibility with any mortgage you get. And working with yourself and myself and our teams, that's what we help determine. We cut all of that red tape out, like I said before, and help our clients determine what's the best mortgage financing available for them with the best rate at that time.
Okay. So you finalize the mortgage, complete the paperwork, ensure the fund to close. So a lot of, and I'm talking aloud, like a lot of the first-time home buyer got scared by their family and friends that some horror stories happen at last moment, the bank canceled the mortgage on them, and they were in hot waters and they're running pillar to post. So a lot of people got scared of these stories, man. So could you explain that one? Like why, what is that, why that happened, and what steps we take care,
yeah, and
it doesn't happen.
A lot of that goes back to that whole pre-approval, myth, like I said earlier, because when clients go to a bank, they're only going to give a certain limited amount of information to get that pre-approval, and that banker is going to give them a list of like 100 different conditions to fulfill in order to make that a final approval. So in our process, through our pre-qualification process, we go through all of the client's information from start to finish, so that when we go for that final approval, it's a real final approval. So we're not going to be in any, hot water come 2 weeks before closing for a client where, they said they had, $20,000 in their savings account, but wait, we find out later that that 20,000 actually was gifted from a family member instead of being from their own resources. So that's where a lot of, first-time home buyers, home borrowers get into a lot of hot water because they don't provide a lot of the information that should be provided. And we help, again, like you said, we hold our clients' hands. We help them understand the process. We help them understand that the information that they're giving us is precise, detailed, and accurate. And when it's precise, detailed, and accurate, then we never run into any hot water or have any horror stories where a bank cancels a financing for any client 2 weeks prior to closing. And that's the most important thing.
And there's also a fault of the buyers too, because they are not being educated enough that
Correct.
what not to do when they're buying a house.
Correct.
Not to buy a big expensive car.
Correct.
Not to spend a lot of money on their credit cards.
Correct.
And a lot of things that we educate our buyers of what not to do when you're planning to buy a house. That's most important. And now,
Correct.
not a lot of people tell the first-time home buyer what not to do. And everybody says, oh, you should do this, you should do that. But nobody's teaching the buyers what not to do. And that's something what we sit down on our first free buyer consultation when you're ready to buy a house, when you enroll in our home buyer success program with us. That's the first step we do is we sit down with you and take you through the home buying process step by step in detail, and then we coach you of what to do and most importantly what not to do when you're planning to buy a home. Even now, in 6 months, a year, 2 year, 3 year later, that's the first time home buyer success program that we run is totally free. You're not obligated to buy anything from us. That's free service that we give to every home buyer out there, that they sit down with us for 10-15 minutes and we explain you the home buying process and take you the whole process from start to beginning and coach you of what to do, what not to do. And then in the process, we also take you through for a pre-approval. Jimmy don't charge you for his service for a pre-approvals. That's also a free service from Jimmy's team, is to give you a pre-approvals based on that of anybody who's looking to buy a home in next 3 to 6 months. That Jimmy give a free service to those buyers. But if you're buying like next year, 12 months, so that pre-approval is not valid because
and there's a big myth that a lot of people think that mortgage brokers charge qualified borrowers fees and services. Is that no, we don't. We listen. We get paid by the banks, and and we don't charge our clients anything at the end of the day. Because it's in our best interest to help clients, like you said, to help educate them, guide them through the process, and get them the best mortgage rates and the best mortgage products in the market. And working with our team and getting them ready for that home purchase. And like you said, our service is free, and we're here at the end of the day to help all our potential clients, first-time home buyers in general, go through a seamless process. And I think there's a lot of misinformation out in the market today, where a lot of first-time home buyers or home buyers in general are just not given the correct information. And with our vast experience, you being in the industry for 20 plus years, me being in the industry for 20 plus years, like you said earlier, we've seen it all. There isn't anything we haven't seen. We've seen both the ups and downs of the market. We've seen, information is changing so drastically these days. But we're up to speed on everything. We're here to help, guide, educate, whichever way we possibly can for anyone, and without any sort of costs or fees or anything like that. So that's the most important thing at the end of the day, because we work on referrals, right, RV? Our biggest business is based on referrals at the end of the day. And
so we don't see my big billboards anywhere or radio programs. I don't do those kind of nonsense stuff. But my major business comes from referrals. Like if I give you the best service, and I give you the best home buying experience, of course you're gonna tell 10 other people and everybody that you're gonna be my ambassador to everyone, that you can say, "Hey, listen, you want to buy a home, then go to RV and Jimmy's team, because everything goes smooth and they take care of everything up front. There's no guesswork. Everything is as per plan, everything scheduled, no issues whatsoever, no horror stories, no surprises." So all those things is taken care of. So that's what the strength we have, me and Jimmy have from longest time that we're working with each other, that we give a best home buying experience to the home buyer. And that's how our business is booming from every year since we are in the business. So closing on your home. So 1 week before the closing. So let's take these buyers into that phase of 1 week before closing. Is what I do is usually take you to the final walkthrough 1 day before the closing. Then you sign docs with the lawyers, and Jimmy is working with your lawyer on the closing to make sure instructions from the bank is at the lawyer's office, all the funding, everything is clear, all the brokers conditions is met, everything is go smooth. So that's where Jimmy is working hard on the last week, and me want to be on top supervising everything is happening on time. So you just focus on your move. So that's what happened on the last week. So that's give us our best home buying experience of the last week hurdles. So Jimmy, explain something on what you do on the last week of the closing.
Yeah, typically, like we don't wait till the last week to get all the paperwork and everything done. We like to get things done weeks in advance, make sure lawyers have all the mortgage instructions that they need in order for our clients to be able to go to the lawyer's office to sign all the final closing documents that the bank sends to the lawyers. We also help our clients, if they are using an RSP or home buyers plan or anything like that, what's the right timing to get that investment cashed out in order to give that final check or draft to the lawyer for the difference in whatever down payment they're making versus the deposit they've already given, and or any investments or mutual funds they have. So having a background in business finance, I understand a lot of the economics of a lot of these investments, and so that's why we're always there to help our clients determine what's the best route of action or best sort of course of action to take, I should say. But yeah, no, our team is always following up with the bank, the lawyers, making sure everything's working smoothly, because we don't want our clients to go through any sort of stress over the last couple of weeks of their closing or week of their closing, right? And just like you do a final walkthrough to make sure, on any home, if let's say something needs to be fixed, or there was a determined where like a door needed to be changed or a window needed to be changed or this happened, you want to make sure all of that stuff is done too, right? The week before closing. Because it was part of the condition on when the home inspection was done. It was part of the due diligence to get that completed. And same on our end. We want to make sure all the due diligence and everything is completed on the client's mortgage application weeks in advance, so that last week, all our clients or home buyers have to focus on is moving. That's it. That's all we want them to be able to do. Just focus on moving, and focus on making their dream home ownership come true.
Yep. So that's what we do to give you a best home buying experience based on the real estate side and the mortgage side, so that you get a best home buying experience. And then once you have that best experience, you can rave about us, about our services to your family and friends, and refer us a lot of people. And this is how we grow our business. So that's the completion of our webinar today and we concluded this. And Jimmy, have we missed anything out of what we have explained so far?
Overall, I don't think so. I think we could go into a lot more detail in terms of how like mortgage financing is determined and things like that. Like we've given everybody sort of a higher picture as to what are the do's and don'ts of the home buying process in terms of working with a professional team like yourself, working with a professional, mortgage broker like myself, and helping clients determine what their purchasing power is and what kind of rates they should get and the things that they should do. I think, we've hit basically the key points that we wanted to share with all our potential first-time home buyers during our, webinar here for first-time home buyers. And we're available. We're available by phone. We're available by email, text, whichever way you like. And RV, one of the things that we didn't tell our potential, viewers here today is that we work 24/7. There isn't a time or a place where we don't answer calls or return emails or return text messages or anything like that. So any of our viewers today, if they have any questions, they know how to get a hold of us now. They have all our information and they can ask us any question they might have that we might have not touched on, because remember, everyone's individual situation is going to be different, and there's no same situation alike out there. And so there might be some questions or some points that maybe we didn't touch on that might be only pertaining to that individual or individuals in terms of what their current situation is. So we're here to help. We're here to help whichever way we can.
Yeah, okay. So the one point I need to touch base, and I want your input on it, is basically the people on work permit, can they buy a house in Ontario now?
Yeah, if you're on a work permit and you've established some credit history and you've been here for at least 6 to 12 months and you have some sort of credit history and you have a good down payment, yes, there are exceptions made under the new immigrant program. But we also have to show that you've applied for your PR and you're looking to get, permanent residency and things like that. So again, certain lenders, certain banks, certain insurers have specific products related to that. So again, it's all case by case basis. It's on the strength of your employment, how long you've been there for, what kind of credit history you have, or what kind of alternative credit history you have. So it all depends, RV. Everyone's situation is different at the end of the day. But yes.
If you're falling in under this program of on work permit waiting for PR, so you can still buy. So there is an option, but again, you need to contact us and we sit down with you under a home buyer success program, and we sit down with you and take down all the information. And then I share that with Jimmy, and then Jimmy contact you and give you a detailed options that what's available to you, and then you see what's best fit for you and your family, and whatever you decide, like, we can make it happen. So there is an option for people on a work permit to buy a house in an Ontario. A lot of people thought they becomes foreign in buyers and they get a tax. That's not true. So
that's not true. There's a lot of different ways to determine that. Even people who are coming here and purchasing under the foreign home buyers program, like they're not exempt where they can't buy. Everyone's situation is different. If you're coming here to Canada and you want to purchase a property and you're a foreign buyer, but you have a family member who's going to be living here, or if you have a child that's going to be school here, so there are certain exemptions with that particular program that people are unaware of.
So again, it's case by case. So whatever the
case.
situation is, you can contact us and we'll sit down and take down your information, and we share with Jimmy, and then Jimmy contact you and give you a full options available to you. And so this is what it is. So any situation that you have, discuss with us, and we always find a solution. Whatever the solutions available to you, we share with you. All the options available to you, we share with you, and then you decide what's best for you and your family, and we make it happen, whatever you decide. So again, you always on a driving seat. So you are always a decision maker of your situation, how you want it to be handled. And we have expertise and have experience of handling those situations for our vast experience in working in real estate and mortgage industry. So that's it. That's our conclusion. And at end of, I'm going to be sending an email to everyone who attended our webinar with all the information and a link to our home buyer success program. how to start and enroll in that program, and set up a free consultancy between me and you and Jimmy, so we can work together and figure it out how to move forward with your home buying process. Have a wonderful day, and talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. And RV, thank you for allowing me to join today. And like I said, we're here to help. So please give us a call.